What is forgiveness? It is not to hold a grudge towards someone, even if what they did was really despicable and horrendous. Forgiveness can change our world in many ways. It can affect lots of people in a way that can change their attitude for the better. So, forgiving other people will let more people feel better, reduce stress, and also let them be able to learn to forgive more people. So, forgiving others is really important and it affects our world very greatly.
The highest form of love for me is an embrace of the divine with the world below, this created world, all in harmony with one another, feeling each other and feeling that we belong together as one united creation.
Love is when you show strong affection towards someone and let them know that you love and care and see the good in that person. And love can change the world by someone showing a little love and kindness. It doesn't have to be a big thing, it could be like a wee smile or something, and it could heal a broken soul that has been neglected. So by showing a little love, they feel inspired to do the same. Love is like dominoes.
People may be actually wired to forgive. Believing that could be a good first step, as it sounds achievable or perhaps even inevitable. The first step is easy. Acknowledge you have been hurt. Still focusing on yourself, consider how the hurt has affected you while knowing you cannot change the past. Do not, however, attempt to forgive and forget. You can't forget. Please acknowledge the power of time. Hurt will fade and not feel so raw. Forgiveness is a series of choices. I think that forgiveness could change the world as it is a process and can be learned.
Forgiveness can not only help people in minor ways, but they can help people in bigger ways around the world. Forgiveness, I believe, is whenever you completely forgive. I'd say forgiveness is whenever you don't even think about that, oh right, well they still did it to me, like that's not forgiveness. Forgiveness in the whole world would happen is just make friends, do some things together. It's not going to be that hard, but will make a huge difference.
Agape love for me is the highest form of love. It is unconditional, selfless love, the one you give to others while you serve them. We can often see this form of love in parents toward their children, but even nowadays in many people who selflessly help Ukrainian refugees, and even despite giving up on their own comfort. Even in the times of darkness, this type of love can bring light to the world.
Love is giving someone a sense of happiness in any way. Love can change the world by there being no more wars and we'll live happily.
I'm Peter Jones Pellach in Jerusalem in Israel. And in this part of the world where we have hurt each other so much, forgiveness is agreeing to live in the present and the future and not in the past.
به نظر من بخشش یعنی اگه کسی کار اشتباهی رو انجام میده یا ما کار اشتباهی رو انجام میدیم باید بریم از اون طرف معذرت خواهی کنیم و اون طرف عذرخواهی ما رو بپذیره. به این کار میگیم بخشش. اگه همه عین من
Love to me is more than commitment. It is sacrifice. It is a form of caring and deeply affection that goes far beyond physical. It's emotional. It is limitless and it lasts forever. And if we all did love one another in that way, we could see each other as we really are and accept each other as we really are and not try to change anyone.
Love is how you feel when you really like someone or when you want to make someone feel better because something has happened. I think love can change the world. When everybody shows love to others, it can make others feel better and then I be kinder and more loving to others too.
Forgiveness is to treat someone according to this person's worth, no matter what he or she has done to me before, that I am able to answer this person with some kind of goodness. I really believe it changes the world, as it gives everyone a second opportunity when making mistakes. I think it's the clue to solve conflicts.
Hi, I'm Jung-Hyo Park from South Korea. I believe the highest form of love is maternal love. This is because a mother gives life to a baby and provides everything for the baby to survive and thrive in the world. None can live and function well without maternal love. Due to the maternal love we've received and remembered, we can give mercy and kindness to somebody and something else. This is the exact way to change the world to be better. Thank you.
Pues es una cosa buena para ti y tú lo haces bien porque tú quieres a los demás, no porque tú quieres que te dejen otra cosa. Porque tú quieres ser bueno con los demás, como Jesús. Sí. Pues una cosa que lo cambie rápidamente.
Forgiveness for me is Yom Kippur. This is the day where we must transcend ourselves, ask forgiveness from others we have hurt, forgive those who have hurt us, and forgive ourselves. Forgiveness is to adopt a clearer vision and to recognize the good nature of human beings. It will be much easier for us to forgive others if we can only separate their good essence from their actions. And in that way, we can repair the world.
از نظر من بخشش یعنی وقتی یکی یه کار بدی رو انجام میده و از ما معذرت میخواد یا ما از اون فرد معذرت میخوایم، اون فرد عذرخواهی ما رو بپذیره یا ما عذرخواهی یکی دیگر رو بپذیریم، که یعنی این کار بخشش هستش. و اگر چند نفر مانند من این کار رو انجام بدن، جهان و دنیای ما زیباتر خواهد شد.
The highest form of love is like forgiveness.
Love for me is feeling a strong connection with someone. Love can change the world by helping children and grown-ups go through a happy and motivated life.
The shortest way to the greatest love is love. All the attributes of Allah, God, we know are the offshoots of the same attributes of love. As human beings, we are the children of the same parents, that is Adam and Eve, and we are supposed to love and receive love accordingly. I would like to quote Quran, Surah number 4, Ayah number 1. O mankind, reverence your guardian, Lord, who created you from a single person, created of like nature, his mate, and from them twain scattered, countless men and women. Fear Allah, through whom you demand your mutual rights, and reverence the womb, for Allah ever watches over you.
Love is appreciation for a person or multiple people. Love can change the world by making more people happy and feel safe.
Forgiveness to me is not holding against someone an act or comment that hurt or offended you in some way, which they may not even realize. Forgiveness can change the world by teaching people and nations not to think of themselves more highly than they ought to think. By example.
Forgiveness is love.
Forgiveness is when you go from winter, when you are at the depths of despair, or if someone's just annoyed you and you're just a bit like, oh, I don't really like this, and resentment towards the person who has hurt you. Then you go through spring and summer where you forgive this person. Or it could be gradual. And forgiveness can change the world by someone spreading forgiveness around the continents, then everyone will start to see people's inherent worth. Next, people will see the brighter side of things and show the person who hurt them service love.
I'm gonna tell you what forgiveness is. And forgiveness is being attacking each other and then taking care of each other.
Agape love is the highest form of love. It transcends all others. This love is not dependent on the other person to do or to be anything. Agape love is universal love. It's often used to describe the love one has with God, but it can also expand beyond that. The kind of love, as a love for God, nature, or humanity, has been tied to having healthy mental and physical outlook on life. When you express yourself in terms of agape love, you are putting others before yourself. For people who donate to charity out of the goodness of their hearts, agape love is at play. Doing something for another person, whether you know them personally or not, is a shining example for this particular kind of love. That's agape love. Agape love can change the world.
Love is seeing past a person's faults and finding the good in them. Love is give and take, so the care we give to others is returned to us. How can love change the world? Part of loving someone is sometimes forgiving them, and like forgiveness, giving love spreads. It's like a love pandemic, and that's something we can all benefit from.
What is forgiveness? I suspect for many people, they have a slightly different definition than I would. For me, I see it as a gift to myself. It's the realization that if I want to be at peace, I have to look at the positive side of another person and try and emphasize that aspect. It is not something that comes quickly to me. It is something that requires an extended period of time with rethinking and reevaluating. And when I was asked to do this, I happened to be reading the book Fly Boys, which was a book about the atrocities inflicted by both sides in the Pacific War during World War II. And at the end of the book, it spent quite a little bit of time talking about how the people who had been tortured and had been mistreated would spend time actually trying to forgive, because they realized that was the only way they could put that pain and that suffering behind them. And I've thought about that quite a little bit since I was asked to do this, because that's the gift you give to yourself.
Todos se hacen amigos tuyos y el mundo se cambia y no hacen más peleas, ni guerras, ni nada. Solo hacen amor, amor y amor.
Love is respect, kindness, and generosity. It can change the world to be a better place through kindness and with the love. It can be more peaceful as well.
Forgiveness to me is cleansing, and it's freeing, and it is allowing the person that you're forgiving to also have freedom. Forgiveness is something that if we all did, the world would certainly be a better place, because not only are we forgiving, but we are forgetting the hurt that is in us. Forgiveness hurts us more than it hurts the person that we are forgiving, and it's an integral part in my Christian faith.
Forgiveness means kindness. Well, if someone hurts you, and you're willing to say, I forgive you, then it might change them, and then they could do it to other people, and those other people can do it to other people and those other people can just keep doing it, and like it could change the world and make the world a better place and make people better.
For me, the highest way of love is loving my husband as if it was me. It is actually something that I have to learn every day, because normally I think about myself, unfortunately. But I truly believe that as I chose to marry him, it's through him that I can learn to love in the highest way. That could be extended to my children, my family, my colleagues and friends, but it's mainly through him that I can learn. I really believe that love changes the world as it transforms people's relationships.
So, what is forgiveness?
Forgiveness takes place when someone says or does something that hurts you physically, mentally, or emotionally, and then you deliberately put the words or actions out of your mind. You don't bring it up again to him or her, to others, to God, or even to yourself. You try to have only kind thoughts and actions toward that person at all times. If every person on earth would treat everyone else that way, what a wonderful world it could be.
Forgiveness is a choice of not excusing someone's behavior. It can change the world to be a better place through kindness, generosity, and respect.
What is the highest form of love for you, and how can love change the world?
The highest form of love for me is the love that the Son of God exhibited when he gave up his perfect, blissful life in heaven to live with sinful human beings for 33 years. He then let them put him through excruciating pain and death, not as a martyr, but as a payment for my sins, so that I could live forever with him in heaven. As followers of Jesus, our love toward others is a bright spot that can draw all those we meet in life to want what we have. With Jesus as their life-changing Savior, they too could glow with love toward others. What a remarkable change this would be for everyone on earth.
Love is kindness, generosity, and respect. It is a thought, word, or action. Love can change the world by everybody being kinder and more respectful, and everybody would be equal, and nobody would be very sad or angry.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Forgiveness. Allah loves those who practice agape love by spending on others and forgive their offenders. I would like to quote Quran, Surah number 3 and Ayah 134. Those who spend freely, whether in prosperity or in adversity, who channelize their resentment and forgive the offensive people, for Allah loves those who practice goodness. Thank you.
Forgiveness, I think it's like something. Give another chance to that people who got wrong. They're drawing. You can just give them another chance. Like that. How can forgiveness rule this world? I think something like that. Forgiveness will save the world. That's why say forgive to the others who got wrong.
Love is a complicated emotion that we all experience deeply. English is so lacking in providing words for the different types of love. It's used too often with nouns like summer and pizza. According to the numerous Greek words for love, agape, selfless love, is the highest form. It is truly the love of mankind. It seems too often we only differentiate between romantic love and other types of love. It's easy to categorize love on a personal level. You can put a face on it. It's also easier to feel unconditional love universally for a sports or a political figure. You can feel the strong positive connection. In today's political climate, coupled with the constant negative media influence, it's hard to imagine love changing the world.
Caring, sharing, helping is love. And the highest form of love is God and Jesus.
Forgiveness is a gift that contains both giving and receiving. It can remove conflict and pain. It can open a path to peace. There's restoration in forgiving. Hopefully restoration of a relationship, but certainly restoration of a feeling of wholeness. It isn't easy to handle forgiveness without help, so ask for God's help. Forgiveness renews your potential to grow beyond where you are. Being able to forgive is a gift and it's a blessing. It's mending a tear, healing a deep hurt. Changing the world with forgiveness needs modeling of forgiveness by parents, by teachers, by leaders in church, in business, and in government. Forgive.
What is the highest form of love? Unfortunately, I don't do well with highest, most, least type questions. I always find them difficult to address. For me, the most difficult part of love is when I expect on my part to love somebody who is either mean or dismissive, either physically, spiritually, or emotionally, and trying my best to deal with that. The best example I can come up with would be Nelson Mandela when he was in prison in South Africa. His ability to forgive and to love his jailers totally exceeds my ability to even grasp. I try very hard to attain that, but have a long, long ways to go.
Love, I think it's, you have to say love one another. So that's how, but God. How can love change the world? That's how the world God made. God decided the world. He chose the right one. That's how the world is happy.
Forgiveness for me is the most important way to heal emotional wounds, to protect, and even improve our relationships. It is a change in the attitude towards someone who has hurt us, with no need to reconcile with them or to forget about what happened. When practicing forgiveness, we genuinely strive to be better people and to live in a more peaceful and meaningful world.
If I do something wrong, I should say sorry.
最高形式的爱，我想如果从人的角度来说，也就是这种宽恕的爱，但是我觉得人的爱这种宽恕是很难做的完全，可能一时或者半会不能完全，所以感觉到最高级的爱应该还是出于神的爱，因为神他是没有任何条件的对我们的爱，而且当我们还不认识他的时候，他已经爱我们了，是神先爱我们，所以认为这个最高级的爱应该是 agape， 但是它不是出于人的，是出于神的爱。 爱改变世界，就是我们真的要去明白上帝的这个爱，然后透过接上上帝爱的这个管道，然后真的去活出来上帝给我们爱的这种样式。就是说我们要就近神的爱，然后从神那里支取这种爱的力量，然后去温暖人的心，然后让每个人心得温暖的时候，无论在哪里，无论是哪个种族的人，哪个族群的人，他都能够当他们心被改变的时候，这个世界也就改变了。
By making us all kinder and more respectful.
Si hay algo que todos los seres humanos tenemos en común, es que en algún momento nos hemos sentido heridos. El perdón es una de las formas que tiene la psicología de ayudarnos a curar las heridas. Estamos estudiando cómo se da el perdón como fenómeno psicológico hacia uno mismo, hacia otros, y ahora estamos dando un paso más en esa investigación donde queremos investigar si los grupos podrían también perdonar a otros grupos.
I think forgiveness is when you show kindness, love and generosity to someone who's hurt you. I think forgiveness can change the world, because if everyone can forgive each other, then the world will become a kinder and more friendly place.
Well, what is love to me is unselfish caring about other people more than concern about what's in it for me. How can love change the world? By meeting the needs of others, physical as well as psychological, not necessarily just the wants. And in the latter case, nothing harmful. Addictions, alcohol, drugs, sex, if you're not married to them.
Love means to me like happiness. Well, if you spread love, then you could pass it on to people and they could pass it on to other people.
I think forgiveness is when you think the people or the thing that used to bother you and hurted you or harmed you, you will feel no pain, no sadness at all. It's just a pure memory. And instead you want to bless them. And the world will be different if everyone forgive. It will be joy and peace and love and kindness, goodness fill up with the whole world.
Just being kind to someone who hurt us. I think forgiveness can change the world by saving people from feeling bad all day and carrying all that guilt.
Love is when you accept the person wholeheartedly, even with a lot of flaws, and you are ready to help, protect, and mend your relationship with that person. If we all learn to love one another, the world we live in will be a better place, and we will all have a more meaningful life.
Love is about when I kiss my mommy, daddy, my home, my friends, my teacher, and I love you.
Hi, I'm Jonghyul Park from South Korea. I think forgiveness is a socialized love. Unlike innate and natural love, socialized love is cultivated to pursue human dignity and benevolence for all. This orients to big winners in Korean dae-a rather than small winners. Big winners take care of not only human beings but also other creatures and nature itself. Forgiveness makes the world a better place by actualizing big and socialized love.
Forgiveness is seeing the worth in someone who's unfairly hurt you. Forgiveness can change the world by people seeing the worth in others, showing kindness and respect to them.
God is love, and God is the Most High, and His love in us so can cast out all the fear, cover all the sin. And if we carry His love, the world will be so beautiful, and there will not be war, there will be no sickness, there will be no fear, because God's love is the most high.
So personally, the highest form of love, I think, has to come from family members and people who actually care about you. And one of the highest forms of love is selflessness. Selflessness is whenever you're doing it for them, not for yourself. You don't expect any guarantee out of it. And how I think that love could change the world. I mean, obviously it can, but the way love can change the world is if just being nice, you know? It doesn't take that much. Even whenever you're walking up, I have to walk up to get to my workplace. All you have to do is just put a smile on and just say like, good afternoon or good morning, and that will make their day.
Forgiveness is a virtue of a moral agent's big heart to pardon an offender, though not the wrongdoing itself. Forgiveness changes the world in 3 ways: rejection, redemption, and restoration. It rejects the perpetual cycle of antagonism and revenge. It pays forward to help the forgiven redeem the self. It restores the relationship of the wounded parties. This propels trust, hope, cooperation, and peace.
چیزی که مثلا یا دوستم قلب منو شکست و ازم نظرت کنه که بازم من اونو ببخشم. اصلا این کینه رو تو دلم نگه ندارم. اصلا ناراحت نباشیم و اگر همه بخشنده و مهربان باشن دنیا خیلی زیباتر میشه.
The most noble kind of love is selfless and beneficent to all human and non-human species, friends and foes, with and without kinship alike. How? Love warms our hearts, turns our ears to listen, and opens our minds and souls to accept all beings. Despite human fallacies, people are valued, mistakes are forgiven, hatred and anger are reduced as love rekindles relationships. Love is infectious, leading hope and peace for all.
For me, forgiveness is a path to freedom. It's a way of finding our way through resent and anger and negativity that results from interpersonal injury. It's a beacon of light that helps show us the way to better interpersonal relationships by really helping us understand something fundamental about humanity in the role of generosity and compassion in our lives. I think forgiveness can change the world by simply improving both interpersonal and intergroup relationships. If we have a way of responding to people who hurt us or groups that hurt us with something other than a tendency towards revenge and anger, then we actually have the ability to come together rather than be separated because of injury.
Forgiveness is a part of life and it helps people overcome challenges. Forgiveness can change the world by opening up and talking. Love is appreciation for a person or multiple people. Love can change the world by making more people happy and feel safe.
Rabbi Eliyahu Dessler said, "Giving carries with it love." Therefore, since love is a product of giving, and in my humble opinion, forgiveness to another person who have hurt us is the highest form of giving, we can say that forgiveness is the highest form of love. By spreading this message, we can change the world.
是这么理解宽恕的，宽恕大概是就是宽容跟忍耐吧，因为人有的时候需要去宽怀他人的过失，然后去饶恕曾经伤害过自己的人。不知道这种理解方式是不是正确？个人比较认为就是一种松绑吧，就是 宽恕他人的同时，也是松开自己的心。宽恕是可以温暖人心的，相信这个世界都是由各种的人的心组成的，也是由各种各样的人组成的。那么宽恕能够温暖到人的心，所以可以改变这个世界，就相当于宽恕是一种比较高级的一种品德，也是一个比较慈善的一种举动吧，爱的表现。
Forgiveness is a choice. It is not excusing the person's behavior, but letting go of anger and resentment. Forgiveness can change the world by everybody being happier, everybody feeling better, and everybody having better quality life.
What is the highest form of love? I think forgiveness is a concrete expression of the highest form of love. So as we try to forgive other people, we're extending love to the ones who are unlovable. And because we're trying to love the ones who have hurt us, it requires a lot of time, requires a lot of sufferings, sacrifices, and struggles. So as we willingly suffer for the one who has hurt us, it's going to change who we are, but it might also inspire the one we are trying to love. And as a result, I think there will be a lot of positive changes in this world through the kind of love that is sacrificial, that we're willing to share with many other people around us.
Love, love, love.
Forgiveness is when you have offended or hurt someone with your words or actions and realize it. You will seek forgiveness to regain back your relationship with that person you have offended. If the other person you have hurt forgave you to mend their relationship with you, it would mean they want to have peace with you because they value your relationship. If we all learn how to ask for forgiveness and learn to forgive those who have hurt us, then the world will be a better place to be and live a more peaceful life.
Forgiveness is when you make peace with someone who has hurt you, and it allows you to let go of anger and bring yourself inner peace. You don't have to ignore or forget what they have done, but it does allow everyone to move on. How can forgiveness change the world? Letting go of anger and seeing people's inherent worth helps us to see people's value and how to appreciate each other.
From my perspective, the highest form of love is love that can stand tall and strong during winds of change. It's the type of love that isn't conditioned upon passion or familial ties or anything else for that matter. Love like this, I think, can change the world because it gives us something that is much, much stronger than resent, frustration, anger, hate. It gives us something that can lift people up. With this type of love, there are no bounds on what individuals and what groups can do.
Love for me is feeling a strong connection with someone. Love can change the world by helping children and grown-ups go through a happy and motivated life.
Forgiveness is a moral virtue. It's a process of forgiving a person in affect, behavior, and cognition. Forgiveness is commonly viewed as a person's willingness to abandon his or her right to resentment, condemnation, and subtle revenge, and also to offer compassion, benevolence, generosity, and even love towards the offender who doesn't necessarily deserve such kind of gifts. It doesn't aim to thrive for restitution or compensation, nor focus on what you can take advantage of or get back from it for the utilitarian purpose. Forgiveness has long-term positive effects on rehabilitation, such as in healing clinical compromise, in promoting positive psychological well-being for diverse populations. Forgiveness can help to facilitate better relations with our family members, friends, the surrounding people, and others who share the environment with us. Therefore, forgiveness can make the world better. Forgiveness can change the world.
Forgiveness is when someone does something bad to the other person, but the other person doesn't mind and still loves the person who did something bad to the person who forgives the person who did something bad.
عشق چیه؟ عشق یعنی یاری کردن، توجه کردن، محبت کردن. عشق واقعی چیه؟ عشق واقعی عشقی که طرف رو به خاطر خودش دوست داشته باشه، نه به خاطر پولش، مقامش، ثروتش، به خاطر شغلش، نه به خاطر اینا، فقط به خاطر خودش.
Forgiveness is when you forgive someone when they unfairly hurt you. Forgiveness could change the world because if everyone forgives, then it would be a way better place and everyone would be happier. And people wouldn't have a grudge against each other.
Love means no matter what, you always have someone to count on. Love can change the world because if people love each other, it would help stop wars.
به معنای دوست داشتن واقعی، کمک کردن، محبت کردن، یاری کردن دیگران در سختی‌هایشان، همدلی کردن. عشق واقعی جوریه که ما یه فرد رو به خاطر مثلا نیام بگیم به خاطر پولش من دوستش دارم یا به خاطر اینکه مثلا موقعیت کار یا شغلی خوبی داره من اون رو دوست دارم. هر کس رو به خاطر خودش دوست داشته باشیم. اگر که عشق در جهان وجود داشته باشه و همه مثل ما همدیگر رو دوست داشته باشیم، اینجوری پایداری خانواده‌ها بیشتر خواهد شد.
What is forgiveness? Forgiveness is a kind of love practiced toward the one who has hurt you. It is not like loving those who are lovable. It's not like loving those who are adorable. Therefore, it requires lots of challenges, sacrifices, and sufferings. And as you do, I think it's going to change the world because it's going to change you in and out. So as you live your life as a transformed person, the way you interact with people will change, and the way you live your life will change, and therefore there will be consequences of love, your love shown to other people in this world.